अटैक विद एच कौन है? हुमायूं है ये, माशाल्लाह। हुमायूं कैसे हो? और स्कूल जा रहे हो? हुमायूं Redwood boys not concerning the recruitment of the new boys of the White Chapel. I think we have found the one and I'll be easy as to whether this. I asked him to black market में जाकर अपनी नाइफ में actually meet and have a time and suddenly boom wine.
Burn it, boys! I'll kill it! There's one of them. Watch your. That's gonna hurt!
कहते गए जल्दी यहाँ पे अभी तक सो ही नहीं हो रात से तुम पे मेरा अभी लैग हो रहा है वो
This is die, man! Die, man!
ये क्या आ गया मार खा लोगा मार मुझे नहीं मार और समीर कैसे हो आ गए नाम क्या रखा तूने गेमिंग चैनल का अपना क्रॉस एक्स आया क्या नाम रखा है तूने पूरे इतना डिस्कस के बाद भी शायान गेम कैसा लगा शायान ये मेरा ये PS4 लिस्ट का फ्रेंड है मेरे तुम्हारे तुम नहीं जानते इसका नाम भी समीर है वैसे
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
ओए चल बेटा तेरे को खाने का वक्त आ गया धक्का मार दिया यार इसने
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
गुड हो गया थैंक्स अमीरिया अल्लाह भाई मरने वाला आदमी पूरी तफसील से पूछेंगे तुझसे भाई
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
नाराज कर दिया ना होते
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
ठीक है खा लेगी नहीं बेकार है खाना इसको
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
अच्छा यार गेमिंग क्या नाम है उसकी गेमिंग चैनल का बता दो यार
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
क्या कर रहे हो भाई यहाँ पे
What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
मैं सब सेवन कर दी चाहिए चलो पहले बता दो मैं मैस्मराइजिंग लेवल पे अच्छा सही है बेकार आदमी है तो तुझे खून कैसे पीऊं तेरा मैं
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
यार आवाज सही आ रही है मेरी या तुम्हारा माइक प्रॉब्लम होगी मैंने यहाँ से सही करी थी मैंने फिर भी मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ
Perhaps you could...
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up rough.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
I will see you later. Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But
Yeah.
the woman is a phantom.
कोई सा भी गेम खेल लो
Really?
यही खेल लो वैम्पायर
Why
या
is
फिर
that?
अपना नीड
Word
फॉर
is
स्पीड
she
जो
ain't
आया
real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up.
सही है सब।
Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
What about those we left behind, face down in the mud? You want to change places with them? You cannot waste your chance at life this way.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have expected you to understand. I don't even know why I spoke to you in the first place.
What is it?
The doctors...
What about the...
It's not...
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye
क्या
for
बात
now.
है यार
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Good.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid, or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're...
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again. One cordial will answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money. Effectiveness has been proven by many.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. I must insist, sir. Please let me see Nurse Crane.
I have no time for you, sir.
No match for the Swanborough cordial. Good evening, my...
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough.
When science fails you, this is you.
No one is left unpunished. Not that you fall right.
each other.
Stupid!
Oh, he's dead! What's it? He's a kid! Christ! He's dead!
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah, A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
What is a That's quite honorable of you.
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent.
Not really.
He went.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them...
Quite a...
Well, you...
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
for the Swanborough cordial. The Swanborough cordial.
Sick and suffering.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now,
Do you need assistance?
please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
What happened? Yes, it's us. Goodbye, young man.
Another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Bloody hell. Boy. Me.
I cannot enter. I have this thirst for blood.
You again?
Goodbye.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you if...
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I will see you. Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Are you talking from...
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what...
You can put your own life in danger. That's your decision.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I'm sure you could have found another...
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Tell me about it. I'm... Goodbye, men.
हाँ भाई बिल्कुल ठीक क्या हाँ AFK था यानी वो था छोड़ के गया पता क्या काम से ये कहाँ गया मैं ऐसे अब वो हैशटैग में अंडररेटेड गेम है बहुत अच्छा गेम है हाँ हॉरर है थोड़ा बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है थ्रिल सस्पेंस बहुत है डेथ स्ट्रैंडिंग तो भाई लेवल की गेम है भाई डेथ स्ट्रैंडिंग ना मैं इंस्टाग्राम यूज नहीं करता। अच्छा मेरे को क्या अलग पड़ा, सोडियम कम पड़ रहा है। कितने में बनता है ये? 2 चाहिए होते हैं, बाकी चीज़ें तो अच्छी खासी हैं। ये सोडियम मुझे चाहिए। चलो बाहर आ जाओ वापसी। क्या फॉरवर्ड कर भाई मेरी स्ट्रीम जल्दी जल्दी। तू क्या खेल रहा है? ओ यार GTA की हाइस्ट करें। पूछो। ओए लेवल चेक कर कैसे चेंज हुए हैं सबके। नहीं GTA में यार आपके साथ अगर कोई बंदा है ना खेलने का, दोस्त वगैरह, तो बहुत मज़ा है GTA। मैं डेली खेल रहा हूँ दोस्त के साथ। अबे तुम तो स्टार्टिंग में ही हो, तुम तो अभी लो लेवल पे हो, अभी तो मज़े करो। अच्छा डिफरेंट अकाउंट से और कैरेक्टर बदलते रहते होगे। मैं GTA अभी बीच में थोड़ा खेलता था। अब 2 महीने से खेल रहा हूँ। कम ही खेलता हूँ मैं अभी, ऐसी तफरी के लिए दोस्त के साथ खेल लेता हूँ।
For there is no protection against malevolence and trickery. You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around.
रिकवरिंग में 2 हैं इनके। अभी नहीं, शाम में। किसके? या वैम्पायर मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
Would you like me to revive you?
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind?
क्या बोल रहे हो?
Do you need any assistance?
यार ज़्यादा नहीं है, 17 या 18
GB. I am shocked that you would think I am that
यार
sort of man.
हाँ छोटा गेम है, लेकिन मैं तरीके से पूरा
I'm so used to
एक्सप्लोर और
liars
सारी
with good
इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर
manners.
रहा हूँ।
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss.
कर दिया?
Take care.
या वो तो आया हुआ काफ़ी दिन से, लेकिन मुझे खेलना ही नहीं हो गेम, इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है मुझे उस गेम में।
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
हाँ अबे नहीं याकुज़ा अच्छी सीरीज है अच्छा यानी वो है गेम सीरीज बहुत पार्ट है अच्छे तरीके की बन सकती है मूवी क्या सीरीज बन सकती है इसमें
Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well.
एक सेकंड रुको
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
सही हो गया गुड हो गया क्या बोल रहे हो सैमसंग क्या बोल रहे हो टीवी आवाज कट रही है तुम्हारी नहीं हमारे FHD है
It's locked.
just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my fault. Right, one way or another. Please, Joe.
I must insist, sir. Please let me see Nurse Crane.
I have no time for you, sir.
I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
The walls of your home will not protect you.
Flower of Whitechapel.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Public कर दे. अरे public कर दे.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in...
ठीक है.
He only require mediocre writing skills.
Mishima. There is a former Romanian political activist. So.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposures.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I will see you later.
Not...
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town? I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Camellia is secret distributed material. Camellia is like a muse. क्या बोल रहे हो? नहीं. It is the Camellia as a muse and not muse. क्या? Mountain Dew.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth.
यार मैं पीता मैं cold drink
One day,
आजकल पी
perhaps,
नहीं रहा हूँ.
I'll
अच्छी
ask
नहीं
her to
होती.
come with me. But will she still
हाँ,
be my
Mountain Dew,
wild
Pepsi,
flower
ये
of
चीज़ें पीनी.
Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Noise.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
What? Not my... And have you ever tried to learn more about her?
क्या बोल रहे हो?
Where she lives, how she survives.
नहीं
whom she may know.
कराची.
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
नहीं पाकिस्तान में किधर से? सही हाँ.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be...
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
खेले कैसी लगी?
I'll leave you alone. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
क्या बोल रहे हो? वो बड़ा सा होता है जो चेन से बंधा होता है। हाँ मार दिया उसे। उसने तुझे पटक पटक के इधर उधर उठा के फेंका होगा। अस्सलाम वालेकुम शाहजी। मैं तो अभी चैप्टर 2 में ही हूँ। अब वो एक अंकल को वो है टीवी है, कैसे सही करूँ इसकी टीवी?
Tell me about Richard Nethercott.
और कोल्ड की भी नहीं मिली है मुझे तो अभी। मेरे पास तो अभी से फटीक किया और स्पैज़म किए मेरे पास। अब एक गूंगी लड़की मिल गई, कुछ बोल ही नहीं है साली।
Very well. Goodbye then.
अच्छा हाँ है मेरे पास ब्लड बहुत सारा है। मैंने ये गूंगी लड़की मिल गई है पागल। शाहजी गूंगी मिली है, गूंगी बोल ही नहीं रही है कुछ। कैमला एक तो मेरा वो लेवल ही नहीं बढ़ रहा, 1 पे अटक गया हूँ। हाँ अब खाऊंगा बस। हाँ अभी मैं चैप्टर 2 पे हूँ। मेरा 3 पे आगे बढ़ेगा।
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
बोलने मैस्मराइज लेवल 2 है चाहिए इसके लिए।
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you.
अभी तक तो नहीं आया कोई।
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
क्या हुआ?
If you... We've not... I am.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम फारूक. Hello. वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has
कर लो
no
तो मैं तुम्हें
close
नंबर दे
family?
रहा हूँ.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around
मैं
like
नंबर
a
दे रहा
lost
हूँ
puppy. A good man
हाँ मैं
for
रसीद पे
sure,
नंबर दे
but
रहा हूँ.
a
देख के
very
तुम
poor
दे दे
writer.
दो क्योंकि तुम्हारी बात हुई थी ना तो तुम्हें याद भी कर लेगा वो कौन सा बंदे की बात कर रहा हूँ. सही है. ठीक है. ठीक है. अल्लाह हाफिज़.
Tell me... How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know
5,
I
2,
won't see my
3,
homeland
4
again. But I
बेस्ट
fought
है
for
ये.
Romania all my life.
एक फोर्स अच्छी तो कोई है ही नहीं.
Romania escaped the grasp of the
फोर तो बेस्ट है उसका रीमेक ना है तो ये अच्छा होगा.
It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not a peace.
बेस्ट गेम,
doctor.
बेस्ट ग्राफिक, बेस्ट डिटेल
I
थी गेम की.
still
क्या
see a
मैकेनिक्स
dark
थी गेम्स की,
future ahead
अपग्रेडिंग
for my
सिस्टम.
people.
उफ. हाँ शाजी मैं तो पिद्दा सा था जब मैंने 2.5 साल में गेम कंप्लीट किया था. 2.5 साल में डर डर के खेलता था.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows?
मेरा पहला गेम था जो मैंने इतनी देर में एंड किया था. यानी इतना टाइम मुझे कोई गेम लेता था. 2.5 साल.
As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
वो शार्क, वो मछली. अरे भाई वो अगर आप वहाँ पे एक गोली चला दो ना वहाँ पे एक बिला वजह वो आपको वहीं खा जाएगा आगे. बहुत उसका वो नहीं देखा था एक छोटा सा वो जो बोना था एंड में बड़ा था बन जाता. वो बड़ा बुरा लगता. मेरी फटती थी उससे बहुत.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed.
उससे जिससे फाइट होती है हमारे लियोन की.
Appreciate your trust.
अबे वो तो इसका फ्रेंड है दोस्त. बड़ी बेहतरीन सीन था वो तो. बहुत बेस्ट सीन था वो.
This war won't
पूरी
last
फाइट का
forever.
बेस्ट. एक वो बड़े सीन बुरे लगते थे वो
Did you
जो
ever think of returning to
माइन
your
के अंदर हम
country now it's free?
ट्रॉलरी के
No.
अंदर बैठ के मार रहे होते थे.
I
टक
have
टक टक
taught
टक मार रहे
strength
होते
and
थे.
determination to my sons and daughters.
बड़ा बैड सीन.
I'm an old dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
हाँ उछलना होता है और फिर उसकी बहन एक वो बन जाती है ज़ॉम्बी. बहुत प्यारा गेम है.
Do you need some help, Mr.
एक
Petrescu?
सेकंड.
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, if... Goodbye, Mr. It's locked, all right.
मैंने सारे खेले मैं रेजिडेंट इविल. आया 5 और 6 में मसला ये इन्होंने किया, इन्होंने शूटिंग डाल दी, शूटिंग बढ़ा दी, क्योंकि रेजिडेंट इविल असल गेम ही है लैक ऑफ शूटिंग और पजल सॉल्विंग और
I cannot enter. Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
इस नर्स ने अपना अस्पताल खोला हुआ है एक. डॉट. हाँ हाँ हाँ. वो चोपड़ा या पे राकेश. हाँ राकेश, वो उसको मैं मार देता, लेकिन मैंने मारा नहीं कि वो वेंडर है, यानी मर्चेंट है. वो मर्चेंट है. मैंने कहा छोड़ दो यार, बख्श दो, वरना 1 लेवल का यूं ही खा जाऊंगा. मैं अभी मुझे इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं मिली, अब पता लगाऊंगा उससे है कैसे. अच्छा शादी, इसमें ये भी कर सकते हैं कि एनपीसी का फॉलो करो तो वो हरकत करते हैं कुछ. अच्छा, अब जैसे वो टिपेट और जो सीनियर नर्स थी उनका सीन चल रहा है भाई. बुड्ढे बुड्ढियां हैं, हालत देखो उनकी. हाँ, मैंने टिपेट को बख्श दिया. मैं अभी यहाँ आया हूँ सिटीजन, ये वाइट चैपल में आया हूँ मैं अभी ना. वाइट चैपल में आधे से ज़्यादा लोग बीमार हैं, मैंने 3 का इलाज कर दिया अभी. अब वो सही कब होंगे, उन पे बना हुआ आ रहा है रिकवरिंग. अच्छा, यानी अब वो जो हमारा हेल्थ स्टेटस है बढ़ जाएगा. नाइस हो गया. अब क्योंकि वहाँ 3-4 को जिंदा करूँ और फिर खाना भी है 2-3 को ना, ताकि अपना धंधा तो सीधा हो.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Sculp, Hand me that scalpel.
What can I do, Doctor?
तो शाहजी ये एक मरीज मर रहा है, जल्दी बताएं क्या करूं? एनेस्थेटिक दूं, इलाज कर दूं? अच्छा शाहजी, वो मॉडर्न वारफेयर कब भेजूं?
I need to perform a tracheostomy.
हाँ भाई
Short
एंडिंग
pipe.
पे मैं कर
That
दूंगा।
rubber tube will
मैं
do.
तो खेल लिया, भाई खेल रहा है,
Gonna cut
मतलब
a passage
भाई का भी
for air
एंड पे।
through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the
इलाज करो,
lung.
इलाज करो
Prepare
साले।
another tube.
A thoracostomy.
अच्छा
Doctor,
है
there's
सर,
nothing to
बहुत
fight the
बहुत
infection.
अच्छा
We
शाहजी,
need an
बहुत अच्छा।
aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
शाहजी, ये हमारा बंदा वैम्पायर बन रहा है क्योंकि बॉडी खोली है ना, खून दिख रहा है। तो अब क्या करूं? आई मस्ट सेच्योर द आर्टरी और लेट मी फिनिश अलोन।
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source.
अकेले में जाके मैं खा लेता, यही होता।
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
कार्डियक मसाज दूं?
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
नहीं शाहजी, अच्छी लग रही है, नहीं खाऊंगा मैं इसको। खा ले। मैं अभी लेवल 10 पे हूँ, चैप्टर 2 पे ही, और अभी लेवल 12 तक जाने लायक हूँ।
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
ये हेल्दी औरत है शाहजी, और पिलर है अपने एरिया की।
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable
शाहजी
from the
मरीज ही
epidemic.
मर गया है तो।
No, there was something more vile in these
अरे नहीं यार,
reactions,
डॉक्टर ही
something
नाकारा निकला हमारा तो।
primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
शाहजी आपने मरीज मरवा दिया एक बेचारा।
I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
रिजवान नाम था आदमी का। शाहजी इसको खाने का।
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
शाजी ये शाजी ऑप्शन दे रहा है ये डॉर्टी का, यू कांट कैरी ऑन दिस, आई हैव कम टू स्टॉप द ब्लैकमेल, दिस इज इलीगल। कौन सा करूं? एम्ब्रेस का तो आ ही नहीं रहा ना अभी कुछ। अच्छा ये हॉस्पिटल चला रही है ना यार, अच्छा काम कर रही है यार वैसे।
The risks you've taken for your friends in Whitechapel are criminal, and you can pay dearly for them.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
अच्छा शाजी यही ब्लैकमेलर थी? अरे नहीं छोड़ दूंगा भाई, हमारी हीरोइन को ब्लैकमेल कर रही है ये। इसको कच्चा चबाऊंगा मैं अब।
But why
Lady
Ashbury?
Lady Ashbury को यही तो कर रही है।
All people.
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
शाजी क्यों हो रही है?
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and
Ben?
honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
अगर अकाउंट कहीं और का बना लो तो सही है।
Justifies the means. Is that your defense?
समीर तुम्हारा कहाँ का अकाउंट है?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty, nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
बस एक दफा अपना पाकिस्तान का आ जाए ना अकाउंट।
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn
शादी
me
में
over
अगर इस
to the
डॉटी को
authorities?
ये जो क्रेन है इसको मैं पहले ही मार देता। स्पेयर आई लुक अवे बट यू रिजाइन, you will forget all about this. Embrace, I am ending this right now. चार्म क्या मतलब? चार्म कर दूं? चार्म से होगा you will forget all of। हाँ खाऊंगा। चार्म से अच्छा इसकी वो चली जाएगी मेमोरी। आओ भाई खाओ इसको। आजा बेटा, मुझे एक्सपी दे।
There is no question that the work you've done here is extraordinary, but this dispensary is incapable of coping with the outbreak.
अपने एरिया की वो है पिलर।
It's only a question of days before the situation at hand will overwhelm us. I cannot allow it. It's my duty to put an end to this immediately.
अरे अबे मार दिया भाई आंटी को।
I'm not ashamed. I did what was right.
हाँ खा गया जाजी, आपने गलत एक बेगुना मरवा दिया आपने।
But we had so much in common, Doctor. Don't you see that?
ये अल्लाह पूछेगा आपसे मरवा दिया बेगुना को। मैं लड़ लेता, लेकिन इसको सेट करते हैं हम। 8,000 हो गया एकदम से इसको खाने के बाद। 6,000 मिला है। रिपोर्ट लेडी एशबरी। नहीं, लेडी एशबरी के पास जाता हूँ, ठीक है। लेडी एशबरी के बाद अबे इसकी चीजें चुराओ ना यहाँ से। स्मॉल की नहीं उससे तो बात हो गई मेरी। हाँ उसको खा जाता हूँ क्योंकि वो हम पे शक करेगा आगे जाके। खाता हूँ इधर। अब नहीं यहाँ शादी सबको मरवा दोगे। वो शाजी लोग आ रहे हैं मारने हमें।
It's locked, all right.
It's locked. अरे हंटर्स आ गए।
to us! Bloody leech! My leech!
हाँ शाजी, इसका ये ना, इसका नेट जो है ना 10 मिनट में पूरा गेम डाउनलोड कर देता है, ऐसा नेट है इसका। अरे PTCL तो बहुत लेवल की टट्टी है भाई। हाँ रोग डाउनलोड कर ले। ओए अबे भाई वो है 4v4 गेम है।
It's locked.
काउंटर स्ट्राइक 3rd पर्सन में। वैम्पायर तो खेलियो आराम से, डायलॉग सुनियो, जल्दी नहीं करियो गेम भाई, मिशन आगे बढ़ाना है मुझे। ना 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 ना, ना।
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy!
हंटर्स आगा शादी है तो मारने मेरे को। 18 लेवल के हैं तो मैं अकेला 10 लेवल हूँ। अभी मैं इन्वॉल्व नहीं हुआ भी नहीं। ये बड़ा है थोड़ा साइज में ना। मार दिया शाहजी। कौन सा ग्रुप? कौन सा PS4 पाकिस्तान या PS4 और PS4 5 का जो ग्रुप बना है उसमें है भाई बहुत, उसमें आधी आवाम है पाकिस्तान की, आधी क्या पूरी आवाम है उसमें पाकिस्तान की। हाँ बोलो। नहीं वो हाँ बोलने आ रहे 2 मिनट में आ रहा। मेरी तो आज की ना शाजी नहीं खेलते या असद शाहबाज नाम है तो हम सब शाजी कहते हैं।
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
No need to apologize, my lady. I know exactly what you endure.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state.
Share factory.
Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed permanently.
बता
You
तू
will not
PS4
be
भी edit
bothered
करता है
anymore by the woman.
And who was this woman?
If you must know, she worked under my employ as Nurse Crane. But I'll wager that's not what will be written on her gravestone.
You killed her? Is that what you consider discretion and diplomacy, Dr. Reed?
I did what I thought was best, and acted accordingly.
You will learn that trust is a rare and precious commodity in the Immortals world, my young doctor. And your actions have not induced me to offer you my support.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is...
What do you know?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Oh,
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
नहीं, body से ज़्यादा body थी बहुत बेहतर है.
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and
नहीं पागल लोग हैं जिनको
breed.
Origins पसंद है. Origin एक shit
progeny
type of
is
game था.
almost
Origin
never
में एक थोड़ी
accidental.
story फिर भी better थी. और story भी अच्छी थी. Gameplay तो almost same ही है दोनों का.
Will they all be as
यार,
laughable as you?
Odyssey ज़्यादा अच्छी थी.
I do not see why not. But remember,
दोनों RPG,
even the sharks
same engine पे
smile
दोनों game
before
बनी है,
he
different
bites.
story.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club.
अच्छा याद है अमीर मैंने तो
from
एक डेढ़
experience it is
साल
best
पहले
to
कहा था कि
decline
ना
to
ये लोग
play.
वो निकालेंगे प्रिंस ऑफ पर्शिया और देख प्रिंस ऑफ पर्शिया निकाल दिया
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by
बहुत
vampire
टट्टी लग रहा है वो
hunters,
रीमेक
prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain,
ग्राफिक्स
more
इतनी
than
खराब थी
likely
यार
it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
अबे जोकर लग रहा था
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society.
hey,
I
hello.
thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
वो चिपकली जो दिखाई दी
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
कौन सा वाला वापसी बताना हाँ 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 अबे सांप आता है वो आता है सेपरेंट अबे फटे क्या डाला हुआ था वही वो जो था अपना कौन सा गेम हेलो वाली चिपकली
It's locked.
सुन रहा हूँ हाँ हाँ स्प्रिंटर सेल यार अभी कुछ अंदाजा नहीं है लेकिन कंट्रोल वैसा गेम ही है ऑलमोस्ट कंट्रोल गेम नहीं खेला यू भी हाँ नहीं मुझे नहीं अभी मैं फॉलो नहीं कर रहा हूँ आजकल न्यूज़ हाँ देख अब मैं बताता हूँ ना कौन कौन से गेम आएंगे अभी देख गॉड ऑफ वॉर तो कंफर्म हो चुका है, हॉराइजन डॉल भी कंफर्म हो चुका है। GTA 6 का भी कुछ नहीं पता। बच्चे कौन से गेम? या सुनने में आ रहा है वो तूने खेला बायोशॉक। बायोशॉक अबे बहुत अलग गेम है यार।
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scows. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
सेम है। वो इजिप्ट में, वो अपना ओरिजिन इजिप्ट में, और वो अपना रोम ग्रीक इन जगहों पे। नहीं थी। एक सेकंड। हाँ जो स्टेल्थ किल के लिए होता है। चलो भाई। चलो यार अब आज के लिए काफ़ी है, इतना खेल लिया। 4 घंटे से खेल रहा हूँ। कल मिलते हैं। अल्लाह हाफिज़।